One of the most useful features of the FastGraphs research tool for the premium subscriber is its permanent portfolio building function. However, both the premium subscriber and the basic subscriber have the ability to create temporary portfolios. Once a permanent portfolio list has been created, the premium subscriber can view essential fundamentals at a glance on a group of companies all at once. Permanent portfolios are quick and easy to build, and the appropriate fundamental data points can be manipulated and organized to the user's liking and/or needs. Temporary portfolios for the basic subscriber are also easy to build, but are also easily erased and will automatically disappear once the user has logged out of the program. On the other hand, the permanent portfolios, available only to the premium subscriber, can be kept and maintained for as long as the premium subscriber wishes. For the purposes of this demo, we will show only the premium version of FastGraphs. In order to create a temporary portfolio, all the user has to do is type symbols into the ticker box, separated by either a space or a comma. Once all the symbols have been typed into the ticker box, simply hit the Go button to create the temporary portfolio. Once a temporary portfolio is created, there's a drop-down window which will allow you to access each of the companies individually according to your liking, or by simply clicking the black arrow, you can move from one company to the next in the portfolio. To remove this temporary portfolio is very simple. You just simply click on the red X, which tells you click to close the portfolio list. And by clicking on that, a window will prompt you to ask you if you are sure you want to remove the list. If you are sure, just hit OK, and the portfolio list disappears, and you're back to your traditional FastGraphs once again. Once the premium subscriber has created a temporary portfolio, there is a green button with a capital R that can simply be clicked, which will take the user into what's called a portfolio review. The portfolio review allows the user to look at all the companies that they have created at once. The premium subscriber can manipulate the portfolio review in many ways. By clicking the Select Headings for Report button, a set of drop-down windows are created which allows the user to change the order of whatever function they want to use, or they can completely eliminate them by simply turning any of them to 0. For example, we can take the market cap, click it to 0, hit Regenerate the Portfolio button, and the market cap now has been eliminated from the portfolio list. There are many ways that this can be done, including a drop-down window here which allows the user to choose how to generate the portfolio review. For example, it can simply be put into alphabetical order if the user chooses, or it can be put in dividend yield order, which will list the list of securities by ranking of the highest dividend to the lowest dividend. To get back into the graphing function, all the user has to do is hit the graphing button up here and it takes you back. Here now we're going to once again eliminate the temporary portfolio review and now change our focus to permanent portfolios, which the FastGraph research tool allows the user to generate. Simply click on the portfolio button and the user will be able to generate individual portfolios. For the purposes of this demo, 4 portfolios have already been created. One is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or 30 companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Once again, a portfolio review can be generated by clicking on either the total return, dividend yield, alphabetical order, and you can look at each individual graph. We'll start by putting them in alphabetical order by simply clicking the Alpha button. This will create a portfolio review list that lists the 30 Dow Jones Industrials in order alphabetically. Once again, this list can be manipulated and we can change the order. For example, we can click on, once we're in this list, the dividend yield order and regenerate the portfolio review, and now list it by order of the highest dividend yield to the lowest of the 30 Dow Jones Industrials. But perhaps the best feature of the portfolio function of the FastGraphs research tool is the ability to manage your own portfolio with more transparency and perhaps clarity than ever before. By simply clicking on the Edit Buy Sell button, you will be able to input buys and sells on any stocks that you own in your portfolio. For efficiency's sake, we've already inputted numerous buys and sells on the small portfolio that we call My Dividend Growth Portfolio. By clicking on the Go Back to Portfolios button, we go back into the section of portfolios for the premium user. To create a new portfolio, all you do is enter the portfolio name here and hit Add or Edit, and a new portfolio would be created. We will simply, for sakes of this demo, type in the word New here and call this New Portfolio, hit Add or Edit, and then here if we just simply paste in any stock symbols and then hit the Update button, a new portfolio will be created. The new portfolio is one that we already have, which is the list of dividend champions. And so what we're going to do is we're going to edit the ticker box here to show how to eliminate a portfolio by simply highlighting all the symbols in a specific portfolio, deleting them, and clicking Update. The portfolio will be removed from your permanent list. Now let's look at the individual stocks that we've created with the buy and sell list by simply clicking on the graph button. Will take us into our portfolio, and here you will see that the portfolio is marked with buys and sells. For example, in this case we bought 300 shares on December 30th, 2005. The gold line represents our cost basis. As we go through our list here, we can see any other purchases that were made and when they were made. For example, we're showing that we bought McDonald's on April 30th, 2009 at $53.30. If there's any selling being done, we can show the sales by putting a red dot. For example, here we show that we bought United Technologies on 8/31/1998, and then when it got overvalued, sold it on April 30th, 1999, or a portion of it, and then we bought some more back on 12/31/2008. Another example of buys and sells would be Nike, where we bought the company. We bought 250 shares on April 30th, hypothetically 2009, at $52.47, and then by simply pointing to the dot, we sold 150 of those shares on January 31st, 2011 at $82.48 when the stock appeared to be overvalued. The summary box shows that we originally paid $13,118 in this hypothetical example. We've taken out close to 100% of our money, or $12,372, but we still have another 100 shares remaining worth $85.05. To add a new name to the portfolio, just click on the Portfolio button, go into Edit Tickers here, and add a symbol. We're going to add V for Visa, hit Update, and now Visa is added to our portfolio. By going back into the Portfolio section and hitting the Edit Buy Sell function, we can also mark our Visa purchase by simply going here and hitting B for Buy and then typing in the date. Then we can add the number of shares we bought, and finally we can add the price per share, and then simply hit Update, and our Visa purchase is now included into our portfolio. By going back to the portfolios, we can then go into the graphing function. Once back in the graphing function, we can hit the drop-down window, bring up our Visa, hit the Go button, and see that we now added this purchase on May 20th, 2011 at $78 to our list. The FastGraphs Portfolio Research tool brings a level of transparency and clarity to portfolio management like no other tool we've seen before. This is the final of our 5 demos. There will be numerous tutorials that will go deeper into all of the 5 demos, including this one.